Could a white director not have
It's not
produced this
color,
work?
it's culture.
Explain the difference, because I think we're in a
Steven
space
Spielberg
right
did Schindler's List.
In a world where everyone is told to follow the latest trends, Denzel Washington has been stirring things up in Hollywood lately. He doesn't shy away from tough talks. Denzel has never been afraid to say what he thinks, questioning the status quo and shaking up the business.
I worked for I grew up in Mount Vernon, New York. I worked for the sanitation department. I was a garbage man.
You were a garbage truck?
I was a garbage man. I worked at the back of the truck, 22 square blocks. That's hard.
But what happens when you go against the grain in a place that feeds on it? Denzel isn't just complaining, he's telling us some important truths. Could Denzel Washington be the hero we didn't know we needed? It looks like that. This isn't your standard Hollywood story where everyone agrees. Denzel isn't afraid to say what he thinks, even if it makes some people angry. He's been very clear about what he believes.
There's a saying, when the devil ignores you, then you know you're doing something wrong.
Yes, he did. Denzel says that Hollywood focuses too much on skin color in movies, which is missing the point. He wants a change, not to ignore race, but to focus on the culture that gives a story its real soul. Now that's some next level thought. In his film Fences, Denzel Washington didn't merely assemble a cast and start filming. He ensured that everyone involved deeply understood the cultural context of the story they were portraying. This commitment to authenticity is evident in every scene and line of dialogue.
My son, Malcolm, gave me an AFI graduate.
Comes from having people who genuinely understand the culture being depicted, rather than just casting actors or hiring directors based on their race or background. Denzel's approach highlights a significant issue in Hollywood, the superficial handling of cultural representation. He argues that for a film to truly connect with its audience, it needs to be rooted in an authentic understanding of the culture it portrays. This means going beyond surface-level diversity and ensuring that the people involved in the project have a genuine connection to the material. To illustrate his point, Denzel often references renowned directors like Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese.
Steven Spielberg did Schindler's List. Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas, right?
Spielberg, known for his epic, often fantastical storytelling, and Scorsese, famous for his gritty, urban dramas, have distinct styles and cultural sensibilities. Denzel's point is that understanding the cultural and thematic nuances of a story is crucial to its success. It's not just about technical skill or fame, it's about a deep, intrinsic connection to the material. This perspective is something that Hollywood often overlooks. The industry's current trend of prioritizing social media buzz and box office numbers can lead to a loss of depth and authenticity in storytelling. Denzel's emphasis on cultural understanding and authenticity challenges this trend, advocating for a return to meaningful, impactful narratives. In Fences, this approach is evident. The film, based on August Wilson's Pulitzer Prize-winning play, is a powerful exploration of African-American life in the 1950s. Denzel's dedication to preserving the cultural integrity of the story is clear in his direction and performance. He ensures that the film's portrayal of its characters and their experiences is both respectful and accurate, creating a deeply moving and authentic piece of cinema. Denzel's critique of Hollywood's handling of cultural representation is a call to action for the industry.
It's just a movie. It's like, relax. I don't play that precious nonsense. Oh, we're moving over. Get out of here.
By doing so, they can create films that truly resonate with audiences and stand the test of time. Denzel Washington's approach to filmmaking, as exemplified in Fences, underscores the importance of cultural authenticity and understanding. He challenges Hollywood to look beyond superficial diversity and to focus on creating meaningful, impactful stories. His insights highlight the need for a deeper connection to the material, advocating for a return to the roots of storytelling where the quality and authenticity of the narrative are paramount. Denzel Washington's perspective on filmmaking and representation goes beyond the surface level of diversity. He argues that while directors like Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese might technically be able to direct each other's movies, the real issue is whether they understand the cultural context behind those stories. This understanding is crucial for creating authentic and resonant films. Denzel's main main point is that Hollywood should shift its focus from race to culture. He believes that the industry's obsession with race often misses the deeper, more meaningful aspect of cultural representation. By emphasizing culture, filmmakers can create stories that are not only diverse but also genuinely reflective of the experiences and backgrounds they portray. This approach, Denzel suggests, could be a wake-up call for Hollywood.
Every morning you wake up is a fresh opportunity to take control of your life and move closer to your goals. The road ahead won't always be easy, but remember that nothing worthwhile comes without effort. Your dreams matter, and so do the actions you take to achieve them.
He argues that true representation isn't about ticking off boxes on a diversity checklist. It's about having a deep understanding and respect for the culture behind the stories being told. Without this cultural insight, any attempt at representation is merely performative and lacks substance. Hollywood often prides itself on being progressive and inclusive, but Denzel isn't impressed by these claims.
Matter movement, for example, and those issues, has that movement in particular, the Black Lives Matter movement, helped race relations or not in America?
Well, listen, we live in America, and in America we have the freedom to express ourselves. We shouldn't take that for granted. So whatever the movements are, whether you agree with them or don't, they have the right.
Rather than a genuine commitment to meaningful storytelling. This performative wokeness, as he sees it, undermines the potential for real progress and understanding. In Denzel's view, real change comes from a place of authenticity and respect. It's not enough to simply cast actors of different races or hire directors from diverse backgrounds. The people involved in making a film need to have a genuine connection to the culture they are representing. This connection ensures that the stories told are authentic and resonate with audiences on a deeper level. Denzel's approach to filmmaking, as seen in his work on Fences, exemplifies this belief. He ensured that everyone involved in the film understood the cultural context of the story, which is why the film feels so authentic and powerful. This dedication to cultural authenticity is what makes his film stand out and resonate with audiences. He thinks it's more than just hiring a black director or casting a black actor. It's about making sure that the culture they're portraying is understood and respected.
Yeah, you was in the neighborhood all right, nigga. You telling the truth there. You was in the neighborhood because it's my payday.
Well, hell, since you mentioned it, let me have $10.
I'll be damned. I'll die.
He's not here for the empty gestures. He's here for the real deal. Ever watch a movie and feel like something wasn't quite right? Like the characters didn't seem right? That's because the people who worked on it didn't really understand the culture they were trying to show. This is why Denzel puts so much emphasis on cultural familiarity. When directors and actors really understand the culture they're working with, it shows in every frame of the movie. Don't just take his word for it. Look at how movies like Moonlight and Fences have been able to break down stereotypes. Moonlight not only told the story of a young gay black man, but it also showed the nuances of his life in a way that felt raw and real. This is because the director Barry Jenkins gets it.
That's all I gotta say, right?
I know what a hot comb is.
Okay, all right. The space that we're in, culture versus race, and how.
It's about making sure the story feels real. But wait, let's go a step further. Denzel Washington's perspective goes beyond just the realm of movies. It delves into the broader societal issues that are currently causing division. He observes that society's intense focus on race is creating more separation rather than unity. According to him, the solution isn't found in laws or political rhetoric, but in the way individuals treat one another. He emphasizes that genuine affection or respect cannot be mandated. It must come from a place of mutual understanding and dialogue. Denzel advocates for a shift away from the constant debates over who is right or wrong. Instead, he believes that progress comes from meeting each other halfway and having open, honest conversations. This approach, he suggests, is more likely to foster real change and understanding among people. When it comes to Hollywood, Denzel is critical of the industry's current obsession with woke culture. His issue isn't with the concept of diversity itself, but with how Hollywood often handles it superficially.
Conversely, when the devil comes at you, maybe it's because you're trying to do something right. And for whatever reason,
He feels that the industry has moved away from telling significant, impactful stories and has instead become preoccupied with trends and social media buzz. This shift, in his view, undermines the depth and quality of the narratives being produced. Denzel's disdain for the industry's focus on fame and box office success is also notable. He values meaningful work over popularity and believes that the true essence of storytelling is being lost in the pursuit of commercial success. His career choices reflect this belief. as he often gravitates towards roles and projects that offer substance and provoke thought rather than those that simply promise financial gain. Denzel believes that today's teens and young adults are too tied to social media, caring more about fans and likes than the real meaning of stories. He even challenges people to turn off their social media for a week. Do you think you could do that? Denzel dares you to try. If you agree with what he's saying, hit the like button and subscribe. Let's keep the conversation going, because trust me, this is getting heated. We're getting into the real stuff here, and we want you to be a part of it. Back to Denzel now. Let's talk about cancel culture. This is where things get really dangerous. We all lose when people are afraid to say what they think because of cancel culture. That's why Denzel doesn't like it at all.
Neil, Edward Albee, August Wilson. August Wilson is one of the greatest playwrights.
But how can we have that if people are afraid of being cancelled? Denzel says, stop trying to silence people and start listening. Let's talk, learn, and grow together. He's seen firsthand how Hollywood uses scandals to make money. Yes, you heard that right. It's not just about the drama, it's about the money. But Denzel won't have any of it. He thinks that art should uplift people and tell honest, meaningful stories. He doesn't just stir up trouble to make money, and he doesn't just talk. Through his production company, he backs projects that give people who don't have a voice a chance to be heard. He also coaches young actors and filmmakers and tells them to stay true to their cultures and stories. There's a powerful scene in How to Get Away with Murder where Viola Davis takes off her wig and makeup. That was her idea. She wanted to show real, raw feeling. That's the kind of realism Denzel is going for. Washington argues that Hollywood's focus on trendy political movements often overshadows the more significant underlying problems. He believes that the industry's support for these causes is superficial, driven by a desire to appear progressive rather than a genuine commitment to change. This approach, he suggests, limits the range of ideas and perspectives that are represented, particularly concerning race and gender. Despite Hollywood's claims of promoting diversity, Washington points out that real power remains concentrated in the hands of a few. This discrepancy raises the question of who is truly making the decisions in the industry. The analogy to Dynam Dynamics' inquiry, who's actually making the decisions, highlights the lack of transparency and accountability in Hollywood's power structures.
You know, what are you going to do with it is the point. We all have reasons, or we might feel righteous reasons.
Washington's insights remind us that the debate over right and wrong should focus on finding common ground and addressing fundamental issues rather than merely following trends. His call for genuine diversity and representation in Hollywood underscores the importance of looking beyond the surface to understand and tackle the root causes of inequality and bias.